the last couple of hours, got free parking, made it from the parking lot to here before 12:15. I think we did pretty darn good. And now we're here at HHN.
Who's ready for the most wonderful time of the year? Halloween Horror Nights. I've been going to Halloween Horror Nights since I was 11 years old. And of course, since my family loves Halloween, both of my cousins have been going since they were 7. In years past, we used to go one night and do all 10 houses without an express pass. It was really hard, but we did it. This year, we decided to get frequent fear pass, which means we can go a lot. We can go on the opening weekends and every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. This is just the beginning, but I feel like I can give you my honest opinion of all 10 houses on opening weekend. First of all, I need to establish something before I get into the ranking. I do not rank my house by jump scare and scariness factor. I think a lot of Halloween Horror Nights fans, they tend to rank it by how scary a house is, like the Insidious house. I would disagree with that, because the Insidious house, for me, wasn't a very well-themed house. It was fine. It did its job, but it was okay at theming. But I can see why people thought it was scarier. I've never been scared of a Halloween Horror Nights house, personally. So I'm not going to rank a house off of scariness. I will be ranking my houses by theming. So that goes with the environment, the costumes, the overall immersiveness. Now that can go into jump scares depending on how that jump scare is done. But I will not be ranking the jump scare by how scary the jump scare is. Now, this may sound weird, but I have not yet figured out which house is number 1. My 2 tied houses are Five Nights at Freddy's and Terrifier. Both very different houses, but both really well done. For me, I've liked Five Nights at Freddy's since I was a little kid, so there's a lot of nostalgia in it, but overall, it's a really well-themed house with some amazing animatronics and puppets, and it felt like you were really in the pizzeria. While Terrifier, on the other hand, was really a fun house with a lot of gore and violence, and it was just an overall just a fun time to go through, and it had these smells, and it was immersive. And by the way, if you're worried about getting wet, the wet path isn't as bad as people are saying. Just try to go through fast if you don't want to get wet. Now, there could be another house that might go up the rankings and get number 1, and that's El Artista, but for right now, it'll be number 2. I really like the previous house that's similar to this, that was Dead Man's Pier. And this house is really close to that. Some great ghost effects and some beautiful large scenery. My next house on the list is Fallout. I have watched the whole show and played some of the games, and I think this house really does capture the game and show really well. And it's just a really well done, immersive house. This one was surprising for me to go this high, but I decided to put WWE at number 5. This house was really unique and different and just really cool. I don't know much about WWE, but it's not really about wrestling that much. It's just really fun and makes you appreciate these characters. For me, this next house, Hatchet and Chains, is pretty close to WWE. This one is just such a fun concept, and I've never really seen a house do this kind of Western style, and it's got some really well done and cool scenes in it. And I can't really think of any other negativity towards this house. Other than its line being in Simpsons, which is by far the worst line out of any other house. It's just really hot and muggy. Also, there's less cowboys than there are demons. That's my main issue of the house. These next 2 houses are kinda tied. It's Gelkin and Dolls, but both in different ways. See, I like Gelkin with the giant a wicker man, and a big giant puppet at the end. But the house, I've noticed it's not cold like what the picture shows. I was expecting the house to be a cold house like the Yeti was, but it wasn't. And also, this house reuses a lot of masks from previous houses and props too, such as the American Werewolf in London. And I feel like it usually feels a lot cheaper. Now, for normal people, they won't notice that. But for me, I will. And dolls, my main issue, I don't really care for the story, and I've seen dolls done in other Halloween events. This one's just the best I've seen it done. It's just it's just dolls though. That's my main issue. And the story doesn't really make sense and doesn't really work as well. So with Gelkin as well. But I still liked both. But if I want to critique them, that would be my critique. Now, this next bottom two are not bottom by far, still pretty good houses. My next house will be Grave of Flesh. My main issue with Grave of Flesh is the story makes zero sense. There is all the visuals are just pure gibberish and nothing. There is like it's a grave site, and you're like you figure it out after a while. You're like, okay, we're dead. After that, nothing. Green lights with tubes, and like demons and a weird spine monster. But the visuals were fun, so I can't say I dislike the house. Now, my bottom house is Jason Universe. This house's main issue is it is just cabin, sheets, Jason. Cabin, sheets, Jason. Cabins, sheets, Jason. Then you see Pamela, and then after that you see a big giant Jason mask, and it's just Jason, 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 and then the house is done. I think the Pamela scene is by far the best part of the house. But overall, the house isn't terrible. And if you like Jason, you're going to really like this house because you get him a lot and really no one else besides Pamela. But otherwise, by theming, it's not much anything. Now, this is just the first week, and my opinions might change. But this year might be one of the best years, and I'd highly recommend going. And as the event continues, I will keep updating and share my opinions.